Excuse me, my goddess. I apologize for disturbing you. However, I have received news from our security team. It appears that there was a temporary breach of some sort. Someone penetrated the barrier separating your domain from the mortal realm. Well, that's the thing. It wasn't an all-powerful army, nor was it another god or goddess who broke through. In fact, it appears to be a mere mortal. Yes, my goddess. The mortal is now in custody. Our security team has chained him up in the lower dungeon for questioning. I'm afraid he hasn't said anything of use, though. He hasn't given a smidge of information. Although, he keeps repeatedly telling us that he wants to see her. He won't give us a name, nor a description. He just keeps requesting someone he calls her. Of course, I'll bring him to you right away.
Let go of me. I said, let go of me, you bastard. You're lucky these chains are holding me back. If they weren't, I'd...
Silence, boy. Bow in front of your goddess.
Huh? Goddess?
This is the mortal, your majesty. I've been told by the head of security that he's a feisty one. That's why the chains remain for the time being.
Wow. You're...
Do not speak unless you are spoken to. Yes, my goddess. Forgive me. I shouldn't have harmed this fool without your permission first. You want me to leave you alone with this feral boy? I shall not question you. But please, be careful with him. He kicked and punched and squirmed like a mule when I escorted him in here.
May I speak? I apologize for not bowing when I entered this room. I didn't realize in that moment who you were. I was too busy trying to get away from that brute who carried me in here. Truth be told, I've never seen a goddess before. Who am I? Oh, right. I guess you want to know who it was who broke into your impenetrable land. My name's Joshua, and I came from a small farming village I'm almost certain you wouldn't recognize. What? Am I royalty? No. Back home, I'm actually just a fisherman. Speaking of... Okay. I changed out of my work shirt before I came here. Just making sure. Don't want to be standing in front of a goddess smelling like fish. How did I enter your domain? So that's what you call this place. Well, the real answer to that isn't the most exciting. I kinda just walked in. Well, fell in, to be more exact. Let me explain. So, The mountain which your domain resides on is sort of local legend where I come from. All of the village elders warn us about it. They tell us not to go anywhere near this place from the time we're little kids. But of course, kids don't listen. So a few go up the mountain and they don't all come back. One of the kids who did come back, though, said that he was walking with his friend in front of him and then, poof, turned to dust. So I went investigating. I climbed part of the mountain and then held a stick out in front of me for a while as I walked up the rest. At a certain point, poof, just like the kid said, the stick turned to dust. I threw rocks, dust. Acorns, dust. Fish, dust. Eventually, I got the picture. There was some sort of invisible force field on this mountain that disintegrates anything it touches. So naturally, I tried doing all sorts of experiments to get past it. Long story short, though, none of them worked. I was so frustrated. Growing up, I had heard all these fantastical tales about the mystical beings which lived atop the mountain. And I was so close to getting there, but no matter what I tried, it didn't work. So, one day, I was trying to do some more experiments because I refused to give up, and I was standing next to the invisible force field, and I tripped because my shoes weren't tied. I remember falling down and being so terrified to open my eyes. I was afraid that I had just been turned to dust like everything else I'd thrown in. But to my surprise, I was actually alive, and I saw your beautiful castle here. I didn't waste any time. I went right for it. This was just like the stories I had heard about. A mystical castle full of magical beings with a goddess unlike any other ruling it. I had to see it for myself. But when I got near your castle walls, your guards got me. They took me down to a cold, dark prison cell where they locked me up. I didn't answer anything they asked. I just told them I needed to see her. I needed to see you. The goddess in flesh that I had heard so much about. It is an honor to finally meet you. I know that you don't know me very well, but please, allow me to be your servant. I want nothing more than to worship you and to gain a better understanding of this world. I know it's a lot to ask from someone in my position. I'm nothing but a poor and ragged human. But please, I'm begging you. Please let me serve you, my goddess.